landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes, please.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 slam conf, request clearance to Vegas S filed.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be full route standby. Plus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs, Victor 370 to 29 Palms, Victor 538, Cresso, join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3, initially climb 7,000, expect cruiser FG5, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, read back is correct. Tango D Mike, taxi to the ramp via Echo and this frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic, left downwind runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and record your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242 John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170.3.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Papa Tower, King Alpha 208 Kilo, IFR 4.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11. Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs round plus 4658 east ramp with weather going for taxi.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 right, clear low approach, report miss.
November 2903 Alpha, PilotEdge, low approach, runway 9, next report is missing.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go 3 and right at Bravo.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Fifth takeoff 3 and right bus 465.
Papa Tower, King Alpha 208 Kilo, 4.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha to
Plus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking booth.
We're 7 Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency, taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
November 2903 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed.
November 2903 Alpha going missing.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying the published mid-approach procedure, November 2903.
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.4.
135.4 for departure, November 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left.
Or 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower. Good afternoon, Ontario. Wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 6 Delta Mike. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clearly active at uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike, roger, taxi on the south ramp via Sierra. Remain on this frequency.
Via Sierra on this frequency, 6 Delta Mike.
Riverside Tower, good evening,
2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land on runway 27, 03 Alpha. Riverside Clouds, November 2903 Alpha, in Alpha request taxi to the transient parking.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside ground. In the future, don't switch to the ground frequency unless you're told to do so. Should stay with tower, exiting the runway all the way to the hold short point. Stay on this frequency for now, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha, rocket. Number 2903 Alpha.
Downlane clear. Downlane clearance. November 6th. Charlie Mike Cherokee. I would like to attempt the I-4 rating today.
Cherokee 76 Charlie Mike, jawline clearance. Good evening. Good luck on the I-4 destination. Will be, let's go, Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo.
That's Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo. 6 Charlie Mike.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
I'm going to sign off and collect some information for this destination. I'll sign back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just report when you're back with the I-4. And how long do you think it'll be? It's not going to be more than an hour, is it?
No. I have to file and get some charts and plates.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll still be here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll look for your flight plan to come through and we should plan stuff.
Las Vegas Tower plus 465 usual 1 on the right, 4500.
Plus 4658 Las Vegas Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 1807.
Clear to land, 1 right, 465.
Plus 658 exit right, taxi into the ramp via hotel, remain on this frequency. Hit it.
Exit right, right via hotel, right frequency 58, 465.
Ground number 953 Whiskey Alpha's Piper Comanche PA24/Alpha. Taxi the active VFR east departure with the weather.
Calling Long Beach ground, need you to verify your call sign, please.
Sorry about that. 916 Whiskey Alpha, November 916 Whiskey Alpha.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach ground, roger. And just confirm VFR eastbound.
Eastbound and the east ramp just south of runway 25.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, roger. Runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo.
Okay, 25 right via Kilo, 916 Whiskey Alpha. Long Beach Tower, November 916 Whiskey Alpha, holding short of 25 right Kilo, ready for departure via Park East.
Number 916 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Tower, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, right downwind departure approved.
Clear for takeoff 25 right, right downwind departure 6 Whiskey Alpha. Good day, Palm Springs, ground scanning double hotel Tango, East Ramp, India, close traffic, runway 31 right.
Papa Hotel Tango, do you Mike? Palm Springs ground, say again aircraft type.
Or a Cessna Sky.
Skyline Tango, do you Mike? Thank you, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Echo and Bravo, 31 right, Papa Hotel Tango.
We're 791 Juliet, towards ground left, clear.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet. We see there's no clearance delivery with this field, so would we get our departure instructions with tower or with ground?
Always go with the lowest, so we'll start with ground. Just say your intentions.
Okay, Sky 791 Juliet. Type Cessna 172 on the south Angus with the numbers requesting VFR advisories to John.
Number 791 Juliet, roger. Departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 2061.
1249, that's 2061. Squawk 791 Juliet.
Got 991 Juliet, read back is correct. Are you ready to taxi now?
In a couple of minutes, just gotta go around Kingston. It's Sky 791 Juliet, south Angus, 956.
Sky 791 Juliet, roger. Runway 29 right. Taxi via hotel. Correction, taxi via Alpha in Juliet.
29 right, taxi via Alpha and Juliet, Sky 791 Juliet.
Palm Springs Tower, scanning Papa Hotel Tango. Mike is holding short runway 31 right, Bravo, and ready for departure, close traffic.
Hey guys, happy Friday, good to see you all. Scotty, good to see you. Digital Aviator in the house. And Cessna Rocks, thanks for the auto host. So, got some free time on my Friday, and I think it's time to re-embark on my IFR training. This time, DME arcs with a crosswind component. So we're currently at thermal. Show you guys. Wonderful thermal. Real weather conditions, and we've got the thermal VOR here that we can use to practice those DME arcs. So it's going to be quite basic and fun, I guess, just to start off the weekend. We're just going to take off here at thermal, stay around the thermal terminal area, get up and do again some DME arcs practice. By the way, it's nice that we're flying with real world conditions, but yeah, the exercise requires some significant winds. And do we have those? Oh yes, we have. Well, at least on 12,000 feet or so. So what we could do just for fun's sake, I don't know if this is going to get too dangerous, but let's see, can I change it? No. Obviously then I need to set manually configured. Okay, manually configured it is. We see an altitude here. So let's set it to 5,000-ish. I'm hoping that that doesn't mean that we also got a ground winds of 30 knots or so, because that's not something that I'm going to manage today. We'll have to see. Done. Apply. Okay, so we got a crosswind component here, and we're just going to fly DME arcs and have some fun. Basic, but important, because DME arcs are also included in all kinds of instrument procedures, with departures sometimes, but also with some instrument approaches. Not only as a holding, or as a way of just to... not as a holding, but not only to enter the terminal area, but also just to leave it. So it's important that you know a little bit about how to fly those arcs. So that's what we're going to do today. In the cockpit, there we are. I also fly with another update of the beta version, which is soon to be released by SimCoders, the RAP Reality Expansion Pack, which is really, really great. They fixed the parking brake issue that I mentioned last time. When I go full power with parking brakes on or with full manual braking on, well, it seems that the brakes are not holding that power, that pull, and now they do. And they've also fiddled around in optimizing the walk around. So here you see now also a lights check. So I was complaining about, or suggesting that the lights toggle in the beta version, guys. This is not public yet, so I'm just sharing with you the stuff that we are working on, that I'm discussing with SimCoders. What they included was a lights toggle switch during the pre-flight walk around, so you can individually check whether all the lights are working, which is kind of great, but it's not really realistic, because in the real world you just flip on the batteries and all the lights and separately do a quick walk around or just have a look to see whether the lights are working, not individually turning them, checking each of those lights, but just flip on the switches, walk around to see if they work, and also if the pitot tube is actually, the pitot heat is actually working as well, and then return to the cockpit and then do your original, typical kind of conventional walk around. So that's kind of like the flow. So that's what they're working on right now. So now we got also a lights check flow, and if we follow this lights check, we only go directly to the points that are associated with, or the views that are associated with that light test or lights check, which is much better. But I've still got some issues with this UI, because now if I press light check, I don't get any feedback of what's actually enabled or changed right now, so that's not really, I think, that transparent to the user. And also, I'd like it also to include the pitot tube or the pitot heat check. It's only the lights check here. So that's the feedback that I provided SimCoders this morning. So I'm hoping that that they will find another way to make it quite easy and obvious of how to use it. But it's again, guys, I'm just digging and loving the fact that SimCoders is really listening to us and trying to optimize their checks and stuff in accordance with our training, which is really, really wonderful. Okay. Anything else that I can mention? No, one thing which is nice, I've built in some additional lights here in my physical real cockpit, so that means that my webcam feed should be a little bit more crisp. And also, especially when I'm flying in night flights, I should be still fully lit up. Usually only my screen gives some lights on my face, and so when I'm flying at night, you usually see just one big black blob of shadow steering this particular airplane, which is not that nice. So we've got some additional lights. Okay, that's about it. So let's just get going. First off, cold and dark check. Let me see. We are currently seated. Right. And our parking brakes are set. Let's pretend that we got a fire extinguisher here in Life West. At least when we're flying overseas, that's important, but that's not what we're going to do today. Door closed. ELT is set to auto. And also, center my track IR here. Is auto, flaps lever is up, and they are up. That's good. Mixture, throttle, fuel tanks set to both. Cutoff is in, alternate is in. This stuff we're gonna have to check very soon. Good. Circuit breakers are nicely tucked in, and my switch panel is working too. Awesome. So what we can then do is remove the pitot tube cover. Because I'm now going to check whether the lights are working and also the pitot heat, and you shouldn't turn on the pitot heat when the cover is on because the thing is going to get really hot. So again, the lights check would not work in this case. Perhaps the post-flight test would. Yeah, just to get quickly to that one. And again, this is not ideal, should be optimized, but hey. So the pitot tube is now cover is removed. That means now that I can turn on the batteries. So see some fuel. I guess this is enough for today's flight. We're just going to stay here in the terminal area. So that's fine. You can hear the battery. Or the, I don't know what it's actually, if it's the battery or some kind of other fan that is spinning up, which is good. Yep, so then all the lights on, landing lights on, taxi lights on, strobe lights on, nav lights on, beacon was already on, and the pitot heat is on. Now we can do a feel for the pitot tube, and as you can see, it's getting warmer. This kind of a, I don't know what it is, some kind of a measure here is filling up this greenish, showing that the temperature is actually increasing, which is really good. Then we can do the lights check and move on. We can see here the beacon light, position light at the back, strobe, landing and taxi lights, and on the other side as well. Wonderful. So it's much quicker, much more efficient than in the original current version of REP, which is really great. Okay, finish. That means that now we can turn off the pitot heat and all of the lights except for the beacon, which is good. We can move on. We can turn on the avionics. Seems to be lit up. That's fine. Flaps down. For our walk around, go down. Go down in sync, wonderful. Let's turn, well, the transponder we can leave on, that's fine. We're gonna set that very soon. This is all set. Fine. Oh yeah, we're gonna need to do that with the GPS. Annunciator messages look good, and the display works as well. We do have some, wow, thanks for the subscription, Ike, thanks man. Really great support, thanks, means a lot. We see that we got some syncing issues here. You can see, look at the heading indicator and the magnetic compass, and they are clearly not in sync. We need to trust our magnetic compass in this case. Oh, the other one obviously. Let me see. Should be something like this-ish. Yeah, so it's about 45 or so. No, not 45. I'm counting the different. 70, 75. Yeah, 75. And that's 75. Roger that. Okay. Don't know what the airport layout is actually. Well, we're gonna look at that very soon. That is in sync. Also, the altimeter will set soon. This is all good, and again, no circuit breakers have popped out, so everything is just normal. Avionics off and batteries off. Okay, so that means that now we got the walk around set. 5 months, Eidke, my gosh. Yeah, I'm not mentioning that stuff. I'm only pleased to just see the subscription. But here on my other display that I have here on my second stream, my gosh, a 5-month subscription. Thank you so much, Eidke. Really, really appreciate that. Thanks. Time flies, roger that. Wow, great. All right, focus. So that means now we can do our walk around, our actual walk around. So let's do that right now. Pre-flight, I guess. Is that the pre-flight? Yes, it is. Trim is all set. All of that stuff is also done. Baggage door, pretend that it's locked. Elevators, work. Orders through. Tie down is removed. Antenna secure. Flaps. They have a wiggle, and we should look at all the inner parts here as well to see if the connecting rods and all the things are there and are nicely secured. Ailerons are free as well. Tie down was removed. Fuel 32 liters. Well, not that much, but enough for our little flight today. Good color. Trucks removed. Good tire quality, and again, oil is kind of still okay, I think. I mean, we don't see any quartz here. That might also be an interesting, not really a necessary, but I think an appropriate addition to the check, so we can see how many quartz are there. Because I think if it's lower than 6, and it depends again on what kind of flight you're going to do. I think the lowest is 4, but that's the bare minimum. But for a cross-country flight, it should be no less than 6 quarts. And we don't have any idea here what the scale might be. So that's also something important, I guess, to add. Remind me of that, guys, by the end of the stream to also add that to the feedback list. Okay, then the cover is removed. Good. Terminal already checked. Lights are also already checked. Tie down was removed. Aileron. Nice. It's good. Trucks removed. Tires are good. Alrighty. So that completes our external walk around. So I'd like to have some music on, actually. Can I just do that like this? Yes. Wonderful. Digital Aviator. Yes, I'd like to suggest a course indication. Now you have to look in the maintenance page for the actual number. Roger that. So I will do that. Okay. Let's see. All kinds of buttons and switches on my yoke, and I need to know what mode is on, and still getting used to that fact. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so we know that our systems are working, our internal systems are working, our exterior systems are working, and that means that we are ready to go. Fasten our seatbelts. So what we're going to do again is take off somewhere. Where? I do not know, at least not exactly what runway. Thermal. Here we are, Echo Airspace, wonderful airport, wonderful area to fly. We're just going to fly around the vortex here of thermal. 116.2 we're going to set soon. And what kind of a runway are we going to get? Airport diagram. Hey Scrab, good to see ya. Happy Friday. Yeah, so we are currently parked over there. And, well, I guess just if we don't hear anyone on the radio, and I don't know about the AI, actually. Digital, do you know what the AI is flying? I believe it was runway 12, but I'm not sure. Well, either way, we'll just have to take into account that other traffic. We'll go through Alpha, Foxtrot, and then 17. We can also just do an intersection departure as well at Alpha and mention that on the radio because we don't need full runway length. Although one trick or advice that I actually kind of like, and that's why we need to follow that up, I guess, also with the current flight, is to always fly the full runway length, because you never know when you've got engine trouble and then you need all the runway just to get down again. So there's no excuse for just taxiing a little bit longer and having that safety at your side. So I like that as well. So all the way down to runway 17, okay. 17, let's set it also in the heading bug here. No idea. All right. Okay, so that's thermal. Yeah, we're just gonna get up and stay in the area and just fly around the DME arc. Perhaps we're gonna do a 5 DME or 5 nautical mile DME arc, just to stay close. We need to make a little bit more aggressive, I guess, adjustments to stay on that arc rather than flying it on 10 or 15 nautical miles. Perhaps it is too close to fly a 5 nautical mile DME arc. I do not quite know yet. We'll have to see. Either way, that's going to be the drill, and that means that we completed our briefing as well, and we can move on to our first starts here. Door closed. Again, batteries on. Let's prime our engine. Like so. Again, parking brakes are all set. 1, 2, 3. Cut off. Battery pump off. I mean. And again, everything is set. No one is walking around, so clear prop. Nice. Ignition back to both. 1200. Oil pressure is already in the green. I also provided that feedback to SimCoders that the oil pressure seems to be quite rapidly into the green and higher up in the green. And he said that that was actually normal behavior. So I trust him as a real-world pilot, advanced pilot actually, experienced pilot. I guess I'm familiar with the A2A product where you can actually see the oil pressure just gradually coming up into the green arc, and it should be there in the green within 30 seconds. Alternator on, we see a rise in the ammeter, roger. But I guess that's a little bit off behavior, which I don't expect by A2A, but I guess so. Mode C, 1200, that's good, so now we can set some frequencies. Yes, mister, it's the default 172 by X-Plane, but I've installed the SimCoders Reality Extension pack, and that, as the name suggests, provides you with a lot more realism, many more interaction points. So the Skyhawk 172 becomes much more realistic and fun to fly in terms of the flight model, but also with other stuff like the walk around. And it's a highly recommended product. That's what I'm using as part of my channel. We're not going to use this one, but we are going to use that one. All kinds of self-tests. Don't need to fly with the GPS today, but we do need some frequencies. Let me have a look. First, 123.0 on the CTAF. 123.0. That's set. No other frequency that we need. Well, ASOS 118. Let's come to 118.325. Okay, we can have a listen to the COM2.
Jacqueline Cochran RGNL weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 16, dew point -8. Altimeter 2988.
988, roger that. Winds calm. Well, again, I need to have a crosswind component to fly with all of that stuff today, with the arc and the crosswind component. So we're going to set our winds if we don't have any when we are flying at around 4,000 feet or so. We'll have to see. Oh, we need another frequency, obviously, and that's thermal VOR, Vortec 116.2. 6.2. And what's wonderful always with the GPS here as well, you got immediately identification here. So thermal 0.4 nautical miles makes sense because we are on thermal airport. Still need to remember actually how to fly a DME arc. 9 degree, or was it already? Oh yeah, so this one. Well, need to figure that out once more once we are in the air. It seemed quite obvious at the time because I already was practicing with DME arcs, but now it doesn't really come to mind again. Perhaps when I'm up in the air, and we'll have to see. Mister, yeah, I could get the bobblehead on the desk. You're totally right. And you have the rep already. That's wonderful. Belashi, how do you measure distance on the default Cessna 172? What do you mean, Belashi, with measuring distance? What distance? Okay, so those are the frequencies. Also, we are on PilotEdge. Altimeter was set. Sync. Not enough fuel, but enough fuel for today, I guess. Not for a cross-country flight. We don't need the clock, and that means that we are ready to go. Brakes released. Brake test works. There we go. Oh, the DME, I guess, are on the GPS. Yeah, well, we got all kinds of ways to measure our distance, also with time, by using the clock. Slip indicator, turn indicator is working, heading indicator as well. Heading over to runway 17, guys. Looking forward to getting to the virtual sky today. Also like that on idle now, the rep doesn't sound that metallic-y, RPM-y sound. So it seems to be a little bit more smooth and stable, not that rusty, which is good. Oil temperature is increasing, that's good. No one on the radio just yet. COM 1 is on. Wonderful flying weather, clear skies. Most of the time here at thermal. Go one notch to the left here. And there we go. Yeah, so here you can see the DME over here, guys. So thermal is set, 0.4 nautical miles. I think you can also enable or display distance rings from your current position. So, yeah, that's nice. Love the airport here at thermal. Just below sea level, as you can see. So let's just go for a straight out, head up, fly at least above traffic pattern altitude, so 3,000 or 4,000 feet. Perhaps 4,000 is better. And there should be a 30 knots wind up there that we set manually. Engine is already, oil temperature is already in the green arc, so that means we can do our run up. Let's see how that works here. Where's the run up area? I guess just in front of us. Because here to the left we're going to go to Landmark Aviation ramp. Onto the ramp. Alright. We are. Parking brake sets. Engine is warm enough. Mixture full in. Let's. Oh, I forgot about this one. To the right, that one goes down. That one goes up. To the left, that one goes down. Control checks are so important. Should actually do them twice at the ramp as part of the run-up. Working as well. But also here, or as part of the pre-flight, but also here as part of the run-up. Those are working, wonderful. Let's go to 1800s. No unshaded messages. Oil pressure is still okay. Everything is stable, so it seems. Left mag. That looks good. To both. A little bit of a wiggle there should not be a direct indication of fouling spark plugs. It should be more heavy and more intense and more wiggly when you've got fouled plugs. I replaced mine with a more fine wire spark plug here, which you can do so as well here as part of the SimCoders package. So that means less fouling of the plugs, which is nice. Again, no uninitiated messages. Oil pressure still there. Instruments are stable. Good. Okay, 1 notch flaps, landing lights on, strobe lights on, trim is set. You're ready to go. Again, brief. We're gonna go straight out 170. I guess just a left downwind, or we're gonna stay in the just straight out. We're gonna climb up 4,000 and stay in the area here and have some fun. Everything is set. Yeah, okay. Parking brakes released. Thermal traffic. Yellow Skyhawk departing runway 17 for a straight out. We're gonna fly up to 4,000 feet and do all kinds of practice maneuvers above the field. Thermal. Here we go. Windsock is looking good. No one on final or Nodo traffic. No one's on the runway. Seven confirms. Also with our heading indicator. Again, mixture full in lights. Alright, we're ready to go. Full power. A little bit of right rudder there. Airspeed's alive. Engine is still in the green. Wonderful. 50. And 60. And rotate. Push down that nose. Let's get to VY. Nice to be up. 100 feet. Again, we could still make the runway in case of a rejected takeoff here with an engine out. And 300 feet, flaps up. Now we need to aim for one of the fields ahead of us if we've got an engine out. So this is the danger zone. Until we reach a 1,000 feet AGL, we need to divert to either 30 degrees to the left or to the right in some kind of field. And that's why it's so important when you take off. You spend that time not just on gazing outside and having a wonderful Peter Pan feeling, but actually look over the cowling and spot proper forced landing sites. Still looking good. There's 1,000 feet, so now we have enough space, gliding distance, to make a 180 degree turn and return to the field again. Alright, engine is still looking good. Let's climb up to 4,000. So what we can do is first start with a 10 nautical mile arc. So we'll just keep the airfield to the left of us. Where is it? There it is, tucked away in photo reel. It's so nice, so pretty. And we'll have a look at the DME here at thermal. Currently 2.3 is gonna go up until it reaches 10 nautical miles, and then we're gonna stay at that 10 nautical mile range from the VORTAC to fly DME arc. Now at any moment we could get that crosswind component. We'll notice, I guess. It's good to be up again. So guys, how's your life? How's your Friday? Mine has been good, but I've already been looking forward to stream today. This weekend, some other events going on that prevent me from flying. Fun events though, but that's why I take all the opportunity today to stream. We're actually only 120 radial. That's a from, so that means I need to fly to the left to stick on. No. How does that work? 120 outbound. does work that way. I thought it was reversed in the from position. No, it is not, because now we're flying. Yeah, it's because we are flying away from the vortex. The from position corresponds with the very thing that we are doing. So we are flying the outbound radial 120, and that's why you still can catch it in the same regular obvious way. However, if you fly towards a vortex with a from position, then you've got reverse sensing. Yeah. Again, these subtle things just leave you when you don't fly that much. Oh, that's nice, mister. Very nice. The captain. What is the captain, mister? Doesn't ring a bell. 6 nautical miles from the vortex. And climbing. 4,000 is coming up. Yeah, I was also thinking about the Cat Digital, but don't know what Mister is referring to. Perhaps we are missing something. Push down on the yoke. No power settings changes just yet. Let's get to cruising speed first. We can turn off our landing lights, by the way. We could also trim a bit, or lean a bit, but we'll do that once we set our power setting. 100 knots, that's fine. Let's set it to 2300 RPM. And now lean, get that EGT nicely high up. Thanks for the follow, Edwards. Thank you. Welcome on board. EGT meter is rising. Wonderful. Really pushing on that yoke, so let's replace that push with some nose down trim. We are 8 nautical miles from the vortex. A Cap-10 is a small French aerobatic plane. Oh, sounds good. A 2-seater. Lucas, good to see you here aboard. Yeah, X-Plane is smooth. I like X-Plane as well. Hey, Minima, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. 9.2 nautical miles. So, again, what's the drill? We need to fiddle around with this one to keep in that arc. And always allow it to be centered. And then we can read off this particular heading that we need to keep flying. So the perpendicular heading here. And that way we always keep the vortex 90 degrees to our side. Already past our DME arc here. So let's see if we can catch it. So we're going to make that turn. We can also, well, let's get it into the 2 position. Let's see how that works. Yeah. Let me see. So now we need to fly this heading. Yeah. So now we need to fly that particular heading to stay perpendicular. Okay. So now we're flying a little bit inbound. Let me see. Did I say that correctly? Oh. So now we need to fly around 010. And we'll stay exactly at, well, this time 11. But let's get to 10. Oh, a little bit towards the vortex. Like so. Should be able to get that number down. Yes, there it goes. Again, thermal is over. So hard to see with photoreal. Is it over there? Yeah, it's over there. Okay. Still making that inbound turn here. Here it goes. Keep running at OBS with us. So now we need to fly exactly north to fly the arc. But I'd like to get a little bit down on the DME here. Minimaps, are you using reshade? No, I'm not. Your sim looks a lot more fancy. No, just default. I believe there are also some MTRs on this area, perhaps a little bit farther ahead, so we need to make sure that... let me see... Oh, here, VR1257. Well, I guess a little bit farther away. That's 10. We're now going to cross that 10. I was not paying attention. We need to fly a lot more to the right here. A little less than north. You can see getting a little bit too close. So let's stick a little bit to the east side of our desired heading, so we get to 10 nautical miles again. I'm not noticing... Well, I am noticing... Oh, there's the traffic, by the way. The MTR. And I don't know why they always allow a Airbus to fly on that MTR rather than just a military airplane, but I guess that's just what happens. There's 10. Now we need to fly 350. Good. Something like this. We'll keep it at 10. But I did notice a slight crosswind component. Now, I don't know where the winds are coming from, which is not really handy. Because then I don't know how to crab properly. Let's get that number down. And I guess with a 10 nautical mile arc, I need to keep banking all the time. It's going up. Again, thermals should be on our left. Yep. No. Where is thermal? There it is. Shortcutting that circle. Let's see if we can get that number slightly down. I don't know what the range is. Yeah, there it goes. Of how much you can be farther away or shorter than that 10 nautical mile range or DME arc that you need to fly, what the margin of error may be or is allowed. But I think this is just fine. Ah, right, digital. Well, it looks silly though. Alright, 330, so still shortcutting that. Do I notice a crosswind component? We're getting pushed to the right, as you can see. Very subtle. Yeah, so that means that we are getting blown out of our track. I guess we're still shortcutting it already. Let me see. 325. Yeah, still shortcutting it. So let's go a little bit to the right and allow the wind to push us into the arc again. There it is. Yeah, it's not that much more difficult, I guess, especially not with a Cessna Skyhawk, which is flying relatively slow. I guess when you're also doing all kinds of other stuff while you're flying this DME arc flying can be quite challenging. .320, we're flying 310, a little bit short there. Thanks, Miniwebs. I like music too. I like also the music that you're playing with your streams, but usually when I'm flying off stream, I always fly with music, and I thought, why am I not including that in my streams? Because I just like to fly with music, so here we are. 315. We're flying shortcutting that circle once more, but we're getting pushed to the right, so our heading might be a little bit short there. That's fine. And the interesting bit is as we're turning around, all the way around thermal, that wind component changes, obviously. So it's not that we always need to shortcut the circle in order to stay on track, because at one moment in the circle when we're flying, we've got a tailwind or a crosswind coming from the other direction. So we constantly need to take into account where the wind is coming from. Now let's just make it a little bit more easy here, because I need to set the heading block so that I know that how I need to crab. Otherwise it's just one trial and error way. 248. Yeah, that makes sense. 248. We're getting pushed to the right. We're at 9.6, so shortcutting it a little bit too much. We need to fly 305. So let's go a little bit more to the right here. .02. Still, wind is pushing us a little bit to the right here, so it should fix itself soon. 9.6. .300. So we're now flying a little bit outbound here. This number should run up. Go up. Yeah, there it goes. So he's starting to correct, not too much. Not too much, still 0.3 to go. Should run up right now. 295. Well, I'm flying 295, so not really. Yeah, there goes 9.8. Let's just stick for just an additional moment on this heading. I mean, that DME arc is now. It's nice to be able to visualize it actually, so we know what we're flying. Kind of a visual aid here for practice purposes. .900. We're flying 398-ish, so that makes sense. Slowly making that turn to the left now. Right. Too much of a slow turn. So subtle. There's thermal exactly on our left, because the thermal vortex is exactly on the left. There it is actually. Sorry guys, with tracker yards hard to stay stable, but that's the VOR. 10. Okay, we now need to fly 285. 285, but considering the wind, we're getting pushed to the right, so we actually need to fly a little bit of 280, for example. And as you can see, while we're turning to the left, that wind component becomes less of a crosswind component.
Terrain.
I
Caution,
know.
Terrain. Caution. Terrain. Caution.
But much more a headwind. I think even I can just fly a DME arc without fiddling with the OBS. Let's just try. Because you generally know what the idea is, right? Let's just see if that works. You could just fly it by mind. So if I keep flying this direction straight out, this number should go up. And it doesn't. That's interesting. Perhaps because I was already turning a little bit to the left there. There comes the vortex again. Thermal to our left, so I guess now we're perpendicular. Oh man, it's good to fly again. 9.7. Come on, 9.8. Oh, this is also interesting, by the way. Red. 358. So we are currently on the radio outbound, I guess, of 357. So the inverse would be the direct heading that we need to fly to get the thermal. Why we're still on 9.7? Because our heading that we need to fly is 26 and a bit. Ah, there it goes. Okay. Might overfly Bermuda Dunes. Already did, I guess. Bermuda Dunes is... Where's Bermuda Dunes? I mean, there's Palm Springs. Ah, there it is. We need to switch frequencies here. Well, we're overflying the field by quite a bit, so that's fine. Okay, we're on 10 nautical miles, so let's turn a bit and just keep thermal there, a bit to our left. So looking at my wingtip, I'm now still flying outbound. Now I'm on track, I guess. Very slow turn. And again, if I'm flying in IMC, I cannot do this trick, obviously, but now with visual conditions. Nicely on 10. Now we've got a headwind. So no crabbing, additional crabbing needed. We're now flying into the circle, so leveling off. Yeah, mister, that might be. Looking good. Yeah, so based just on visual reference and not flying too much of a small DME arc, you're actually already quite good off just looking at the DME arc. Or at the DME, rather than just filling around with the OBS. But I guess you need to have a general idea of where the vortex is, and once you know where it is, and you're kind of like in the direction of the DME arc, then you can just fly a little bit more casual, I guess. NZ! Tim, could you show the flight path on the map for a second, please? Oh yeah, that's cool. Can I? Peter, good to see you as well. Welcome on the stream. Happy Friday. Map. Flight path. Yeah, good one. So here you can see me flying a little bit too much inbound and then outbound to catch it again. Yeah. That's a good addition. Now I'm flying most likely too much inbound. Where is... No, I'm actually flying it outbound, I expect. Overflying Bermuda Dunes. Airports. Man, I did a lot of flying here. And on X-plane with photo reel, it is just dropping every time. Palm Springs over there. Still exactly on 10. Okay, but this is relatively easy because we got a headwind right now, but that headwind is slowly, as we're turning and making that circle, I don't know even if we can make the circle all the way around considering the terrain, but that will turn into a crosswind obviously. Also not that safe, I guess, or not that considerate flying at 4,000 feet with the arrival or departure path of Palm Springs here. These runways 32-ish or 31-ish, I don't know by heart, I think 31. So most likely there will be arriving and departing aircraft here. And we're gonna cross that. But hey, as VFR pilots we are free to do whatever we like. 9.9 on the DME, so let's straighten her out a bit. Below highway, cars driving, and how many golf parks and courses you can find here, guys. My gosh. I mean, I guess John Fly would also think that the Palm Springs area is his favorite area to fly as a golf fan and practitioner. Player, I mean. Alright, 9.8, so again. A little bit more to the right here, straight and right. Exactly, Peter. Ah, digital, can't wait to get started with IFR. Yeah, I'm also cannot wait when you're gonna start with IFR. Just to see what you're up to and what you might study. Golf course hype, yeah. Again, there's thermal. So quite off of our wingtip, so I expect that the number is running up right now. Yeah, 10. So we gained. Now we need to turn to get thermal on our wingtip. Look at those canyons over there, my gosh. What I also feel is because of this photo reel is well, obviously so highly detailed, I don't feel the need to fly with high resolution mesh. So this is actually the lowest. I don't know if you can we set the mesh setting? I don't know. I believe so. Or I didn't install any HD mesh kind of pack. And I think it's just totally fine. Like to squeeze every frame per second out of my machine and just dedicate it to smooth flying while streaming. I don't have a dedicated streaming PC, a second PC. Still, everything is running fine. The only thing that I'm concerned with is fuel. You can see we have a little bit more fuel in the right wing than in the left wing. So we might need to land for a second to fuel up, but everything else looks just fine. Also important, I guess, with the winds and with flying any kind of navigational points is to make sure that your heading indicator is in sync. We don't have a heading indicator that's slave to the magnetic compass, so we need to make sure that it's still reading out the same heading as the magnetic compass does. Although I guess if you want to be really on point, you need to also take into account. Oh no, it's always should be in sync. I was thinking about magnetic deviation and all of that stuff, but that's nothing. That's not what I think you're gonna correct for with the heading indicator. It's just what you do in your head, I guess. Should you use the Should you correct the heading indicator for magnetic deviation? Even though it's negligible, I guess. Really flying inbound, 9.7, so let's stick a little bit to the right here. Let's see if we can fly the DME arc all the way around, considering this terrain is going to be a close call, guys. But how amazing does it look? And what I also love, and that's actually what really makes it work here, or makes it tick here in X-Plane, is that the OpenStreetMaps resource that X-Plane is using to generate all of the autogen, the roads and the cities and everything, is so accurate that it overlays almost perfectly, as you can see, the terrain and the photoreal, which is really, really wonderful. 9.8, 9.9 should be very close. Already getting a little bit of a crosswind component. You can see if you look at the terrain, we're getting pushed to the left. So that means that when I need to go a little bit more outbound, I need to add up that crabbed position. Crabbed heading, I mean. That's 10. Oh, we got a terrain issue here, guys. Let's see how close we can get.
Caution, terrain.
Yeah, I know, darling.
Caution,
I know.
Terrain.
Clear. Clear.
Caution, terrain. Caution. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Pull
Terrain
up.
ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Still on
Terrain
10.
ahead. Pull up.
9.9.
Terrain
See
ahead.
if we can make it.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
We might even get some turbulence here.
Terrain
Or
ahead.
updrafts.
Pull up.
Well, not
Terrain
downdrafts
900.
actually, because the wind is coming
Terrain,
from that direction,
terrain.
and it
Pull
sucks
up. Pull
onto
up.
the. I know.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up.
Clear,
Terrain
clear.
ahead.
It's
Pull up.
okay, darling.
Terrain
It's okay.
ahead.
I
Pull
appreciate
up.
the care, but
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up.
oh, there he goes.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
There it goes. Going to
Terrain
suck down
ahead.
to
Pull up.
the ground.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Sorry, guys. I will make that left turn here
Terrain
to
ahead.
make that
Pull
message
up.
disappear.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull
I
up.
know.
Terrain ahead. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up.
Clear, clear, clear.
Terrain.
Clear.
Caution. Terrain.
Caution, I know.
Caution.
I know.
Terrain.
Well,
Caution,
it doesn't really matter if you
terrain.
hit clear
Caution,
all of the
terrain.
time, but 8.6.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up.
What we could do
Terrain ahead. Terrain
is see if I can
ahead.
fly 5 nautical mile DME arc, perhaps even
Caution,
a 3 nautical mile
terrain.
DME arc, and see
Caution,
how that goes.
Terrain. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Caution. Terrain. Caution. Terrain.
I don't know if I can disable it.
Caution. Terrain.
I'm already
Caution,
far away.
terrain.
Yeah, there should be some kind of a mute button here, but I don't know, guys, how that works. So we're now flying towards thermal, so you can see our DME. It's running lower, 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 lower. Let's get to 5. Pick it up again. Not using the OBS. There's thermal. Just pull the circuit breaker. Yeah, aviation. Well, sleep tight, mini-webs. Thank you for dropping by. It was a pleasure to see you. Sweet dreams. Sweet aviation dreams. .2, 5.1. Already too late, I guess. Making that turn now on the DME arc. 5. Also get to 4,000. So I guess with the initial turn here to get on the DME arc, you might need that OBS. We now have a visual reference with thermal, so we know that we're kind of okay. But in IMC, DME should run up slowly. 4.7 we are at currently. Mm-hmm. 4.8. And now we got a crosswind from the right, so we're getting blown to the left. So that means that I should actually fly a little bit even more to the right, outside of pointing my nose outside of the circle to compensate for that wind. That's 5. Turning into a tailwind. Alright, keeping it here. 5.2. Well, wind, now you can make, now you can help us get into the DME arc again. And then once we completed that one, I'm gonna practice flying some traffic patterns here. Thermal, always good practice. 5.3, okay. So that crosswind component, I guess, is already quite weak. So let's fly a little bit more inbound then. But flying DME arcs is not that difficult, at least not with a Cessna and not given any other kind of procedures that we need to follow up on, like particular altitudes to hit. So this, and also not chatting with ATC. But it's not that difficult as I initially thought, so that's good. Alright, that completes, I think, the crosswind practice. So that's wonderful. Runway 17 is there to the left, as you can see. We can pick that runway, so we can enter the left downwind. Thermal traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is 3 miles south of the airport. We are entering the left downwind for runway 17 for close traffic. Thermal. I like to keep my RPM just a bit in, at least above 1500, so I keep my engine relatively warm. And so that means that we're going to go for a more higher speed. That's fine, landing lights on. Keep our mixture just in. Still above 3000. Let's set our heading bug here as a visual 8, 17. Wonderful. Still low on fuel, but everything seems to be just fine. There's 3000, mixture full in. We are on the downwind leg. A bit far away from the airport though. Which is important, is an important consideration, because if you've got an engine out on downwind or at any pattern or any lag in the pattern, you need to be able to make the field safely. So let's fly a little bit more towards the fields. Also, we've got, what was it, 100 feet below sea level. That's airport elevation, so that means 900 feet. MSL would be the traffic pattern altitude. Nice descent. What a nice scenery, guys. My gosh. So apparently there's a racetrack over here. Nice. Alright. Almost 500 feet to go. Watching out for this particular leg. I think AI is flying on this runway. So we're now on the departure or arrival end of that. Don't see any other traffic. Let's get a little bit closer to the runway, I prefer. Alright, it's coming up to our traffic pattern altitude. Again, mixture's full in, lights are on, parking brakes are released. Allow the airspeed to decrease below 100 or 110 actually. Set our first notch of flaps. Put in a little bit more RPM here. Stay around 90. Alright. Thermal traffic, Yellow Sky goes now on the left downwind midfield. Runway 17 for Dutchy goes. Thermal. A bit more power in. Ah, this is great, guys. I'm really relaxing. My gosh. If only I can do this full day as a working day, man. And again, guys, if you're digging the scenery that you're seeing, the airport scenery here, Eurothermal, check out the scenery airport package by GPB 500 Greg, who I frequently mention also here on the stream. He makes really nice scenery, as you can see. And actually he sells a pack, a scenery pack, airport pack of, well, dozens of airports in the SoCal area. I believe also beyond the SoCal, but I'm not really sure. Primarily, I guess, SoCal. So if you're flying on PilotEdge, when you're flying on X-Plane, especially when you're flying with photoreal, get his stuff. Alright, turning to base. Thermal traffic, Yellow Sky is now turning base 17, Dutchy goes. Thermal. Alright. Bit high, a bit fast. That's not a good combination. Still no other traffic, but we've got a long runway to go, so fly the airplane first. And thermal traffic, Yellow Sky is now final 17, Dutchy goes. Thermal. 2 wides.
500.
On the Vazi. Look at that. Flying in Echo airspace is as much fun, I believe, as flying at a towered airport. At least once every while. Coming in, still going much too fast. This was actually my usual approach speed up to, well, a long time ago. Then I decreased it to around 65. Also, always with 20 degrees of flaps, but now I'm actually trying to practice flying full flaps. So full flaps. And going much slower. So here we go. Nice. And why? Because I actually like to land with my yoke fully aft. So also keep as little pressure on the on the nose wheel. And I know that I cannot lift off again because of some wind gust but then you need to obviously go quite slow before touchdown. Normal traffic, yellow car goes down the upwind 17, close traffic. What I should also drill and practice is not retracting my flaps fully up. That's usually what I did, but now because I'm flying with 10 degrees of taking off, departing with 10 degrees of flaps, I should retract up to 10. Let's do it in the second round. Let's shortcut it already. Thermal traffic, yellow car is turning left crosswind 17, touch goes. Thermal. There are also helicopters flying, AI here. And thermal traffic in Ascargus on the left downwind 17 midfield, touch it goes. Don't really care that much about flying that base and downwind properly here, just trying to practice those landings. Bunch of flaps. Let's see if we can do a short approach here. So make an early turn here to base and final. Good speed. Around midfield we can already start descent. Fuel is low but good. Good enough at least. Let's make the turn. Normal traffic, Kilos Carcass turning left base, short final. Runway 17 touch goes through. Oh, watch that speed. We're in the white band, but close, I think.
500.
Let's RPM Tim. Much too fast. We can do this in a much more James Bond fashion next time. Still have a long way to go here. Now we're stable and in the white band, so second notch of flaps. Already idle. Full flaps, and again, much slower than last time. Trimming up. Trimming up. Keep that nose on the horizon. Proud, proud, proud. Nose up. Yeah. And yoke fully aft. Nice. Flaps up to, but not including 10 degrees. Neutral on the yoke. Track that center line. And 60. Rotates. Keep that nose down. VY first. Thermal traffic, Los Carcass turning left crosswind. 17 touch it goes. Thermal. We basically got the airport for ourselves, so. Thermal traffic, Los Carcass now turning on the left downwind. 17 for touch it goes. Alright, this is tight. We need to go up to 900, I guess. Alright, good. 500 MSL is fine by me. Nose down trim. One notch of flaps is still in. Good. Thanks for the follow, Doctor. Thanks. Welcome on board. Happy Friday. Doing some regular traffic pattern flying here today. Alright. Let's see if we can shortcut this. One notch of flaps here, and this is a little bit dangerous. Risky. Because now we got need a much, how do I say it? We run a higher risk of stalling. And thermal traffic turning final runway 17, short final. Switching goes, thermal. Right, good. Watch its speed. The pulling on that yoke, so even trimming until the last moment here. Flaps should have done already. And just bleed off that energy. Nice. Flaps up, not including 10. Full power. And 60. And thermal traffic, yellow cargo is on the upwind 17. We're going to shimmy over to the right, downwind for runway 12 for touch and goes. Thermal. Make sure there's no AI there. Alright. I don't see anyone. VY 500's fine by me. And thermal traffic, yellow sky is now the right downwind 12, touching coast, thermal. Two. One notch of flaps already in. Let's just fly the... Just gonna do one more regular landing here. Then set a crosswind. Practice a few. This is also good practice, I think. And thermal traffic Laskark is turning right base. 12, touching goes. Here's the runway. Good, good. Speed. Here we got poppy lights. Not that it matters, but coming up. Look at those textures on the runway. It's so nice, so pretty. Same drill. Focus on the far end of the runway. Still so much energy. Especially now we're so light, also with so little fuel and just one passenger here. Laps up, not including 10. Full power, track that center line, right rudder, airspeed's alive, 50, 60, rotates. Already rotating quite a bit sooner than 60. Nose down, VY. We don't have anyone in the pattern, so let's just hit pause. Customize. I don't care. This one I do care about. 12. So let's say something like this, and a speed of 10. And let's also get some serious gusts increased there, and it's at 0. I don't know what the band is, how high it goes up, and what the base and top is of that wind that we just set. I have to see. Apply. Whoa. Well, clearly we are in it. Alright, we're getting blown to the left.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel, Victor
nice.
Alpha, taxi to runway 12 for close traffic. Thermal.
Digital is joining. That's nice. Alright, let's keep full power in. Don't know why I changed that up. Flaps up. Okay. Heading bug 1-2. 300 feet. And thermal traffic, yellow sky is turning right base, 1-2. For close traffic, thermal. Keep that nose up, VY. Now getting a headwind. Like the gusts. Makes it a lot more challenging. Alright. Nose down. I don't know what the exact wind heading is actually. Forgot about that already. Good enough distance. And thermal traffic. Yellow sky is now turning right downwind. Runway 1-2 for touch and goes. Thermal. Good. Getting blown to the right, so shortcut that turn. Let's see if we look at the ground track here. Yes, we're getting pushed to the right. 100 knots is fine. Much a flap set. See if we can digital. See him taxi. Guess he needs to. No, I don't see him just yet. Oh, already lost my crab into the wind there. A little bit more to the west, to the south. Okay. Ah, there he is. He's taxiing almost there at the threshold. Ah, that's the wind. Obviously, look at a windsock. Okay, so winds are 2-4-ish, I guess. Let's set it to the wind direction rather than the heading of the runway. For practice. 2-4-3-5, something like that, it seemed. Now we need to make sure that digital knows what we're doing, but I guess he's watching the stream as well, so he knows damn well where I am, but it's good to be conscious of that. And thermal traffic, yellow cargo is now turning right base for runway 1-2, touch and goes. Alright. Runway, 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 runway. What's our speed doing? It's doing fine. 1-2. Alright, space. Again,
500.
Tailwind now. We need to overturn to get that crab position. Thermal traffic, yellow cargo is now turning final. 1-2, touch and goes, thermal. As you can see, did not succeed in doing that. Chin speed. There's digital to the left in the run-up area. Alright, we cannot land in this fashion because we damage our undercarriage. Bleed off that speed and left rudder, right aileron, quite extensively. So full rudder there, and keep our ailerons. Oh, that's too much of a flap in. Because we still got that wind component, right? And as we gain speed, we can neutralize. Whoa, this is not a healthy wind. I guess already exceeded our personal and structural limits. Trimming. And thermal traffic, yellow cargo is on the upwind. 1-2, right close traffic. VY, still one flap. Okay. 200 feet AGL. Flaps up. Okay. Thermal traffic, yellow skyhawk is turning right crosswind. 1-2, touch and goes. Thermal. Going much too fast here, but I guess that's also the wind rushing into our pitot tube right now. Thermal traffic, yellow sky is turning right downwind. 1-2, touch and goes. Thermal. Again, shortcutting that turn because we're getting pushed towards thermal. So something like this.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha taking off runway 12 for right close traffic thermal.
Alrighty. Interesting. Alright, so two things. When I'm making my turn here from downwind to base, my wind component is going to turn into a tailwind, so we're going to accelerate through that turn, and we need to overturn in order to get into a proper crab position. So what I could have done is just extended my crosswind just earlier, so I buy myself additional time. What I can also do here, digital is airborne, is to make that turn a little bit more steep, but with flaps on I don't prefer doing that. So I'm already flying a little bit away from the airport to give myself a little bit more room here to make that turn.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right crosswind runway 12 thermal.
And thermal traffic, yellow sky is now turning right base. 1-2, touch and goes. Thermal. Okay, so 1 notch of flaps is still okay. We're in the wide band barely. Not gonna put in that notch of flaps, but my hand is on the flap lever. There we go. Still plenty of time, so that's good. But let's make that turn a little bit more early because we're getting pushed to our left here. There we go. What's our speed doing? Still much too fast.
500.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right downwind runway 12 touch and go. Thermal.
And thermal traffic, yellow sky is now on short funnel. 1-2, touch and goes. Thermal. Why are we going that fast? I'm completely idle. Oh, flaps up. Why am I flaps up? Okay. Well, let's do a flaps 10 landing then. We can make it. A lot of airspeeds. Oh, yikes, 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 yikes. More aileron, Tim. Keep right aileron in. Flaps are already set. Track that center line. Full power. That was challenging. 60. Release. Neutral. Yoke. Not pretty, but good enough. Thermal traffic yellow. Sky goes on the upwind. 1-2. Right close traffic. Thermal.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right base runway 12 touch and go. Thermal.
Alright. Can improve on that. Okay, one more time, and then I'm going to switch over to the Piper Super Cub without a crosswind component and fly that. It's fun as well. Alrighty. Get back to my VY here. Right rudder here, Tim. Thermal traffic, yellow sky is turning right crosswind. 1-2, touch and goes. Thermal. Airspeed will increase again, I guess.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning short final runway 12 touch and go. Thermal.
Like a headwind. Overturn just a tiny bit there. Myself some time. And thermal traffic, yellow sky is turning right downwind. 1-2, touch and goes. Thermal.
And thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha on the go around for traffic on the runway. Thermal.
Alright, so we got AI. Let's see. Traffic on the runway. Oh, sorry guys. Stay down, Tim, and also stay crabbed. Let's make it a full stop, by the way. We're just gonna...
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right crosswind, runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
We're not gonna taxi all the way back to the ramp. I'm just gonna taxi to the run-up area over there by the end of 1-2. And we're gonna change airplanes and fly the Super Cub. Alright, on arch your flaps. Let's make this landing count, guys. Crosswind landing, heavy, strong, significant crosswind component. Love practicing those.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right downwind, runway 12, thermal.
Alright, so digital is just behind me. Now let's get that speed management on mark. Beam the numbers, quite far away from the runway, but again, once we turn base, that crosswind component, that wind is coming from that direction inwards. It's going to turn into a tailwind. Bit early, but hey. Thermal traffic, Kilo Cargo is now turning right base for runway 12 for a full stop. Come on. Okay, good. Wideband seems stable. Second notch of flaps. Good. 1-2. Yeah. A little bit of a trim up here. Again, kind of okay speed-wise. And let's make the turn a bit early.
500.
I know, darling. Let's make that turn. Yeah. Nice. Much better. Thermal traffic, Yellow Cargo is now on the short final 1-2, full stop, thermal. Stick to the
Thermal
right
traffic,
side.
Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning
pushed.
right base, runway 12, traffic on final side, touch and go, thermal.
Still high on speed though, that was not pretty. 20 degrees, that's fine by me. Alright, again, nose up. Should stick on the right side of the center line, not on the left side, but... Right, flaps up, flaps up. Oh my gosh, I'm using full left pedals right now and still I'm going straight. You can hear the wind rushing over the wind.
Thermal traffic,
Airframe.
Skyhawk Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning final, runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
Alright, I guess we need to use breakage here to make corrections. That was interesting. And thermal traffic Yellow Cargo is off runway 12. Alright, tailwind to the right. Again, right ailerons. Work around a bit. And turn off our landing lights and turn off our strobe lights. That was nice and challenging. And again, a little bit too extreme, I guess, with a gusty crosswind component, almost direct crosswind component. But it's good practice. Okay, here we switch over to the Piper Cub. And also reset the weather here. No wind conditions. Although those might also be fun to fly the Piper Cub in these conditions, but that's a little bit too much of a novelty to me. Yeah, let's just turn it off, I guess. Off. Turn off my magnetos just a tiny bit too early. Anyways, yeah. Flight configuration. Piper Cub. I like the one with the big wheels and with the most power. And I don't want to see any winds actually. KFOG. Visibility is fine. Done. Start new flight. Start new flight. Piper Cub. Oh, we're suddenly at the ramp. Okay. I guess I should have changed that. Doesn't really matter. Here we are. Flaps are down. Okay. How does that work? My SciTech switch panel is now not in sync. How can I change that? Because we don't have 30 degrees. Let me see. Up, 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 up. Yeah, now it works. Okay. So yeah, here we are. Windows open, door open. We don't have any tie downs, I guess, but let's have a look. Walk around. Next. Do that. Chocks are removed. Look at those tires. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. How many liters did we actually have? I guess we incorporated all of that stuff from the Skyhawk. 30 liters. Some balance. Alright, that's not good. Have it a little bit more balanced. Apply. Good. Okay, we also got a prop. Alright, how to start up this baby? Well, first let's close the door. Keep the window open. Batteries are on. It should work actually. Batteries? Yes, batteries are on. Avionics were already on. Okay. Navigation lights, everything is off, off, off. Landing lights are still on. Be off, and my strobe lights should be turned off. Beacon light is on. That's correct. Yes, that's in sync as well. And let's see, avionics are on, but why are they on over there? That's weird. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a prime here. Throttle just a bit in. Parking brakes are set. Yes, they are set. And let's do a prime. Fuel pump on. 2, 3. I don't hear anything. That's not a good sign. Batteries were on. Okay. I think it should have worked. Then again, throttle a bit in. And magnetos on. And the starter. It's not doing anything. I guess that means that the battery is not on or it's completely drained. But it is clearly on. Then let's turn those off. Off, 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 off. That means because we also did not prime the engine then. What is my report saying? Ah! Drained. Makes sense. Okay. Let me see. So, again, battery's on. Yeah, now it's turning on. That's good. At least avionics are also on. Off, off. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, this is better. Throttle a bit in. Fuel pump. Yeah, there it's the sound. 1, 2, 3, and cut off. Good. Then we are ready to go. Yes, so magnetos on. Starter. I guess not. Because I didn't set the fuel pumps or the fuel tanks to both. So we also did not prime the engine. Hello? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Again, throttle a bit in. Batteries are still on. Fuel pump. 1, 2, 3. So I don't know if there's any fuel flow gauge, but okay. Magnesium were still on. Oh, okay. That's also not good. But there it goes. Nice. Let's also set the environmental sound on, which I usually don't use with the Skyhawk. So we got some winds going. nice. Alrighty. Window closed. Let's check our controls. Looks good. Without the elevators that we can see, you also see the tail. No, we don't. Okay. So, parking brakes released. Avionics on. 1, 2, 3 point. It's not set. 1, 2, 3.0. Now it is. Alrighty. Let's get to 1, 2. Nice sounds. Lean for ground, by the way. Don't know if digital is still in the patterns. Transponder set. Are connected to PilotEdge, I believe so. Yeah. And again, I think that this Titan label should be removed there. There's no function at all and it's distracting. Okay. Is he taxiing on this taxiway perhaps? I don't know. Ah, there he is, just over the nose. Or that might be AI, but I think that's him. Alright, get back on the taxi line. That's also why actually here on thermal, especially for this taxiway, I should announce that I'm making use of it, because there could be airplanes taxiing towards the ramp from the runway, as well as airplanes from the ramp to the runway. So there's no two-lane, it's not a two-lane street here. What a wonderful plane. Very good. Yeah, heading buck can be set to 12. Oh, this goes much faster. Because we're staying in the traffic pattern. Well, no, let's keep it on MSL. So if we hear any other airplanes coming in or flying over, we have a valid reference. Alright. Still, I don't hear anyone actually. Again, Windsor confirms clear conditions. Yeah, my comm is set 123.0, right? Yeah. Avionics are on. Is there anything else that I need to turn on? Avionics on. Or alternators not on. That's also quite important, Tim. My gosh. Also because I'm noticing, usually I'm seeing my switches here also in the virtual cockpit, and I know that I didn't forget anything. And I've got a flow
Thermal
going.
traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel, Victor Alpha,
nice.
turning right downwind, runway 12.
That sounds good to me. Let's skip the run-up. Perhaps that will not be a good thing. 1, 2. Alright. Let's make sure there's no one else on final, because I cannot really see from my right wing. Let's turn this way around, and I don't see anyone. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is departing runway 12 for right close traffic. Thermal. Good, trim. I guess it's okay. 1, 2, there we go guys. Landing lights on, strobe lights on. Mixture full in. Haha. Alright, so slow and easy. Got a powerful engine here. Right rudder. Wait until the nose drops. There we go. A bit more power here. And there we go. What power? My gosh. Not even full power. There we are. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is on the upwind. 1, 2, right close traffic, thermal. Yeah, Captain, that's right. And what view we have? We can go much deeper
Thermal
than this,
traffic,
by the way.
Skyhawk, Papa Hotel, Alpha Victor Alpha, turning right base, runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
And thermal traffic, Super Cup is turning right crosswind for runway 12. Touch and goes, thermal. This is cool. This power. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is now on the right downwind for 12, close traffic.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel, Alpha Victor Alpha, turning final runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
Let's see where he is. Turning final. I don't see him just yet. Alright, speed is good. Alright, so one of the things that I need to watch out for with flying the Super Cub is, even though the main wheels should touch first, also should tap the brakes, by the way, because I think they're still running. Yeah, tap brake. Oh yeah. I must prevent tumbling over, which almost happened in previous streams. Alright, less power. One notch of flap. There goes the speed, a little bit too much, I guess. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is turning right base 12 for touch and goes. Thermal. Alright, heading back, almost at the right. We don't have any winds, so it's going to be easy. Straightforward, I mean. Super Cup style. Oh yeah.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha, turning right crosswind, runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
And thermal traffic, Super Cup is turning final 12. Touch and goes. Thermal. Okay, one notch of flaps. Full flaps, I guess. A bit more power, although I don't know the speeds by heart of the Super Cub. I guess we can fly so much slower than with the Skyhawk. Up, trim.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha, turning right downwind, runway 12, and we'll make a stop and go, thermal.
Right. Nose up, a little bit more power here. And a little bit more nose up than usual. Good. Whoa. Still a little bit aggressive there on the pull up. Oh my yoke. Whoa, not too much power. Good. Good. And full power. Look at that speed, guys. And look at this climb rate. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is on the upwind for runway 12, close traffic. Thermal. Still we're speeding up. Woohoo! What a beast! And thermal traffic, Super Cup is turning right crosswind 12, touch and goes, thermal.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha, turning right base, runway 12, stop and go, thermal.
Right base, okay, so digital should be somewhere over there. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is turning right downwind, 12, touch and goes, thermal. Perfect. Now Digital's going for a stop and go.
And thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning short final, runway 12, stop and go, thermal.
So that means he's gonna go for a full stop onto the runway and then give full power again. Perhaps he's gonna change to a Super Cup as well, knowing him a bit more. So that means we're gonna extend our downwind. Thermal traffic, Super Cup is extending our right downwind here for runway 12 to make time for that traffic on the runway. Come on. So he knows that I know. Let's also set the weather, the time, I guess. A little bit of a sunset.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha on the go, runway 12, thermal.
That's nice. One extra flaps here. Whoa. Alright. Thermal traffic, Super Cup is turning our right base, 12, touch and goes, thermal. So turn on our navigation lights while we're at it. Go down, Tim, go down. Flaps. Edit. So I don't like to fall down on my tail that quickly or uncontrollably actually. As last time.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right, crosswind, runway 12, thermal.
So we're far too high. And thermal traffic, Super Cup is now on final runway 12. 4 touch and goes. Thermal. Okay. What's the time? It's already past 5, so that means that PilotEdge is live. What we could also do is fly with our Super Cup to Palm Springs. But I don't know actually what the proper call sign is of a Super Cup. Or just Piper or Piper Cup? I don't know. Does anyone know? A bit more power here. And perhaps a bit more nose up than last time. Oh, we already touched the ground. That's
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right downwind, runway 12, and touch and go, thermal.
That's much more subtle. Flaps up. I guess fully up. Power again. Not too quick, Tim, because this powerhouse. And then you get this. Oh my gosh, no! No, 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 no! Oh, man. It's so tough. It's so tough. It's fun, though. Thermal traffic, Super Cup is off the runway. We're going to back taxi over the taxiway to 12 and pick up the thread again. Never use back taxi because it suggests that you're going to taxi over the runway back towards the threshold, and that's not what we're going to do here. So back taxiing means something different than taxiing back. Landing lights off. Taxi lights on.
Thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning right base, runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
Alright, but that's cool. So PilotEdge is actually live. So what we can do is try to fly with the Super Cup to Palm Springs. Perhaps we get a straight in for runway 31 right, so let's just prep for that before we take off. Turn on our pit lights here. So lean for ground here. Could have cleaned that up a lot more early. Alright, just the runway. You can see digital there. Let's go to the run-up area. Thermal traffic, Super Cup is on the run-up of 1-2, waiting for the dotted traffic. Thermal. Slow on the brakes, no on the tumble
Thermal
over.
traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha turning short final, runway 12, touch and go, thermal.
Good. Parking brake sets, and let's set 1,000 RPM-ish. Good. Okay, so we're gonna fly to Palm Springs. We're currently at thermal over here. So it's going to be quite a short hop and a nice hop, I guess. We need in the standby 119.7 tower, and ATIS is 118 point. Oh, COM 2 is 118.25. Let's have a listen. We can. Do we have a COM1 and a COM2? No, we don't have a COM2. We just have a COM1. That's very nice. Okay. Or do we have it on the left side here?
Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha on the upwind, runway 12, thermal.
What do we have here? Temperature, and we also got a light over there. That's interesting. No, COM2, I guess. Even though I see it here on my panel, on my SciTech panel, I guess we cannot use it over here. That's interesting. So, yeah, we'll have a readout here, 118.25 in the standby COM1.
Palm Springs INTL information Charlie. 100 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways
Basic pressure, we
13
just set
right,
our own weather, so it doesn't really
13
matter.
left. Departing runways
Okay.
13 right, 13 left.
130, 123.00 on the CTEF again, and standby is tower, roger. So yeah, what we're going to do is just take off here 12, make a right downwind departure. So we'll fly like this, and then that direction, and we're going to say, hey Palm Springs, here we are. Now, how do we call ourselves? How do we call ourselves? I guess just Super Cup, but I don't know for sure. Does anyone know in chat? Let me see. Super Cup, guys. Yeah, me too, Digital, but I don't know for sure.
With thermal traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha leaving the pattern area to the south, climbing to 3,000 feet, thermal.
So people saying here just use Cup. Just use Cup, and if they want to know more, then you can say Super Cup, but you're just coming in, so. Just say Cup. So Cup, Papa Hotel Tango, India, Mike, Piper Cup. Okay. Let's see how that works out then. That sets anything else that we need. Well, we got the Mode C on, and we've got 1200. That's good as well. Anything else? We can set the heading already to what's the airport layout? Let's have that in the ready as well. Hey Lex, good to see you. Welcome on board. Plates. Close. KPSP. Airport diagram. Wonderful, yeah. 3-1 right. 3-1. 3-1-ish. And I'm gonna ask for, so that's also important when I'm gonna do my first initial call. I'm gonna say that I like to park on the east side, because then the controller knows what runway has my preference. Otherwise he will usually assign me 3-1 left. That's the default runway, I guess, but I like to park there at General Aviation So east parking. East parking it is. Okay. Anything else that I need? No. Tower, well, ground we're going to switch over. It doesn't really matter. Okay, good. It's Mark Dot. Thank you for the follow. Welcome on board. Just our final hop to Palm Springs here on PilotEdge, which is my first ATC controlled flight with the Super Cup. Okay, wonderful. We are ready to go, I guess. Where's Digital? Is he still flying? I don't know, actually. Where's he? Next to us? Also have a look at this beauty, guys. By Simcoders and Aerosim Gaming. Ho, 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 ho. Nice tires, Tundra tires. Quite exaggerated here on concrete, but it's pretty. Okay. All right. Parking brakes released. Let's go to Palm Springs, guys. And thermal traffic. Piper Cub is departing runway 12 for a right downwind departure to Palm Springs. Thermal. You're full in. Trim, I guess. Set. No one's on final. No one is on the runway. Let's go. Aligned. Matches the compass and power. Slowly. Get that speed going. Right rudder, nose comes down, please. Not that stable. Not that stable at all. There we are. Power, a little bit yoke aft. And there we go. Full power. Off to Palm Springs. What a climb gradient, guys. My gosh. Up we go. Alrighty. Comes our crosswind turn. And thermal traffic. Piper Cub is turning right crosswind for runway 12 for a right downwind departure to Palm Springs. Thermal. Gonna ignore the traffic pattern altitude here because we're gonna depart anyways. Gonna stick at 1500s. And thermal traffic, Piper Cup is now on the right downwind for runway 12 at 1,500. We're going to depart the traffic pattern area to Palm Springs, 2,000 thermal. And there is Thermal Airport, guys, down below. Keep our landing lights on. Goes down. Switch to tower. Just quit the music here, so I'm sure that I don't miss anything.
Back 10 Echo, turn left, heading 140.
I guess we're 10 miles away. Let's have a look. We are... Oh no, much farther away. 20 miles. Oh. 20 miles away. Alright. So far so good. Yeah, Digital, it is a beast of a plane. My gosh. Oh wow. It's also so nice to fly. Let's make it 15. Still, we're good set on tower. Yes. Mode C 1200. Palm Springs Tower, good day. Piper Cup, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike is 15 miles southeast of the airport, currently at 2,200 with Charlie inbound for a full stop. Like to park on the east side, that's okay.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, good morning. Squawk 1744.
1744, Papa Hotel Mike. 17. Oh. Lake. 1744. Read back, radio or radar contact, I guess.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thank you. Radar contact now 3 miles west of the thermal VOR.
True.
Parking on the east side, make straight in, runway 31 right, report 3 miles, and the Palm Springs altimeter 29908.
Right, straight in 31 right, report 3 miles out, and position checks for Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Okay, fine. So that's an easy approach, I guess. Anything else that we need to consider? No.
King Air 3 Mike,
Palm
Charlie,
Springs
descend and
Tower,
maintain 5,000.
Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Pacific Alpha is 10 miles to the east, inbound with information Tango.
Papa Hotel Alpha, Victor Alpha, Palm Springs Tower, good morning. Squawk 6715, 6715.
6715, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha.
Number 3610 Echo, say request when able.
There's Bermuda Airport there to the right.
November 10 Echo, roger, vector to final.
And we can turn on the music.
Sky 3610 Echo, turn right, heading 180.
I guess I can hear Marcus just fine with music on, but just in case. Hey Ben, good to see ya.
Papa
Oh,
Alpha,
yes.
Victor Alpha, thanks. Radar contact 9 miles
Yes,
south
sir.
of the Palm Springs. VOR altitude showing 2,500. Altimeter 29908. Show you parking east or west side.
We're parking east side and the altimeter 2998 and the position checks Papa Hotel Victor Alpha.
Papa Hotel Alpha, Victor Alpha, make straight in, runway 31 right.
Straight in, 3 round right, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha.
Where is digital? I guess just behind me. Man, this is going quite slow actually. I was thinking that Palm Springs was actually much more nearer thermal, but obviously it is not. Usually I'm referencing Palm Springs from Bermuda Dunes, because that's the airport that I usually depart from or fly around my own time.
John Wayne Clarence, delivery November 6, 5415, good morning.
Calling John Wayne Clearance, I'm sorry I missed the call sign, go ahead with your request.
November 6, 5415, we would like to pick up the destination for the IFR rating, please.
Number 415, no problem, what's your aircraft
Skyhawk.
Tap on the brake.
As a Cessna Skyhawk, let's go to El Monte, Echo Mike Tango.
Echo Mike, Tango El Monte for November 6, 5415, thank you.
Good luck.
Alright, straight in, so let's make it a straight in. I know
Number
that
3610 Echo
there's Palm Springs.
is 13 miles from
You
Hilton.
already see the runway
Fly heading
layout just a
150.
tiny bit.
Descend and maintain 3,000.
Let's fly a little bit down this way, side, and then
Let's runway 12 approach.
I also remember a flight where I also got assigned a straight in, but I was flying a kind of like a base, and the controller
Papa
said
Hotel
no.
Alpha Victor Alpha, wind 110 at 5, runway 31 right, clear to land.
And I will get
Clear on
mine.
right, clear to land, Papa Hotel Victor Alpha.
He's first. Or perhaps Digital is flying with a Skyhawk and he's already ahead of me. That could also be the case. I guess that's the that's what's happening,
King
because
Mike
I
Charlie,
didn't see him
departure
behind
mission
me.
bay, You are heading 090
the outside
Victor
field,
Global,
so-
runway 27 approach.
And I guess Marcus is not gonna give me landing clearance so far out. Hey Steeler, good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. It's weekend, guys. Weekend. Digital, I went ahead. Roger that, sir. What nice it is. How nice it is to fly a Super Cup here. Sunset. With music on, with you guys aboard. Must be cramped. Just behind me here for a one-seater. Or two-seater, but just one seat left. For passengers. Flying the Cup in towered airspace for the first time. Not there just yet. Because we're still a little bit outside. We're gonna take one-way 3-1 right here. Park east side there at the General Aviation. So perhaps we can already get off of Delta. And the real pros can already get off of Bravo, I guess, with these Super Cups. Can fly so slow. It's almost park it on a particular spot. It's some really nice YouTube movies that show you. And I love flying at sunset. I mean, it's getting repetitive, I know. So in previous streams, I just reset the time here to get down here at sunset, but it's just gorgeous. There's Bermuda Geo, it's just behind us. Could have switched also to the other fuel tank, but because I cannot really handle this thing quite well with my mouse to even get it switched over, I like to prevent it to go to the off position unintentionally. But in this case I should have already changed it up to the left tank and the right tank. I don't know what the rate is by which you should switch tanks.
Hangar 3 Mike Charlie, contact SoCal approach 124.35.
I guess every 30 minutes or so, or I don't know, to keep your airplane balanced, obviously, because if you drain only one tank on one wing, you get balancing issues, and you will notice that in X-Plane.
King Air 123 Mike Charlie, SoCal approach, Roger, Limburg, altimeter 3007.
So here's the oil pressure, oil temperature still low, that was a bug. As Adios was saying in the other stream, there we've got cylinder head temperature. Again, no green arc, so I don't know how to read it actually. I guess it shouldn't be low, but it also should not be hot, but somewhere in between is fine. Manifold pressure, that has to do also with the prop.
Alpha Victor Alpha, right turn, when able, taxi back into the ramp via taxiway echo and monitor ground 0.9er.
0.9er, so that's...
We'll turn right here at Foxtrot, I think it is, and we'll go back to the taxi for the parking via Echo, and we'll monitor ground up out of Delta.
So usually the...
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, runway 31 right, cleared to land, wind 110 at 5.
Clear to land, 31 right, Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Usually the ground frequencies are at 121 point whatever. And so usually controllers, especially when they know that you're already a bit more experienced, just refer to those ground frequencies by saying 0.7 or 0.9. almost always a given that it's at 1, 2, 1 point something. Not always, but most of the cases. Mister, I do it with time, yes, or by
Santa
looking
Maria
at the field,
Tower,
time,
Skyhawk
field level.
3610,
Roger that, mister.
Echo on the ILS 12 with X-ray.
Number 3610 Echo, Santa Maria Tower, wind 280 at 4, runway 12, cleared to land.
But yeah, I should have
Runway 12 clear to land.
apply my
10 Echo requesting,
learnings from my 182 time. Getting
Number
up
3
my
Mike Harley,
streams
turn right, heading 200, descend and maintain 4000.
with the prop, because I should have tinkered with RPM or optimized
Number
my
3610
performance
Echo, affirmative.
with the prop and the manifold and that stuff, and I don't know
north
quite yet how that
and
works.
east of the field, right downwind, runway 30, cleared to land.
Circle northeast of the field, right down.
Alrighty, 3-1 right is over there.
Clear, 30.
Let's get in with our Super
Echo.
Cub. Favorite airport of all times, favorite air traffic controller of all times. Sunset, X-Plane, Twitch is on. It's a Friday, beginning of the weekend. It couldn't get any better. Look at this glare.
King Air 3 Mike Harley, 8 miles
So
from
nice.
Rebo, continue right
Just
turn,
default,
heading
guys.
240.
Default X-Plane.
Descend and maintain 3,500 until established on the localizer, and cleared localizer runway 27 approach.
Already got some reds there on the
King Air 3 Mike Charlie,
Papi.
out to maintain 3,800 until established and cleared for the approach.
So let's get a descent going. Landing lights are on.
Sorry, I
Make
heard
sure full in.
3,000. Should be 3,800.
Looking good. Look at that haziness. Wow. Okay. There we go. So we were initially instructed to report 3 miles out on runway 31 right. See on my notes here, at least if you can read them. But because we already were given a clear to land for runway 31 right, I guess we don't have to anymore. Go down a little bit more. Got 3 whites, I think, and 1 red. Yeah. Now there's digital, I guess, waiting for us. That's kind. A little bit less on the RPM, even more. And just wait with that 1 notch of flaps, because once I do, the airspeed just drops like a stone. And we're quite far away from the runway. That's a bit different from the Skyhawk there, I guess. Welcome to Palm Springs International Airport, guys. Oh, we're a bit too low now. Ah, right, mister, thanks. Yeah, I should study that a bit more with the prop. I think you're, it's sounding familiar, what you're saying there. Alright, 1 notch of flaps.
King Air 3 Mike Charlie, contact Limburg Tower 118.3. Good morning.
Bit more power there. And there's the airfield. Now let's see if we can
Limburg Tower, King Air
make a
123
pretty
Mike
landing
Charlie,
here.
block 27 approved.
King Air 123 Mike Charlie, Limburg Tower. Good morning. Wind 010 at 4, runway 27, cleared to land.
Clear land runway 27 through Mike Charlie.
There's digital. I think. Yes. with our Super Cub into such a big airport. But this is fun, guys. Wow. Also, I like the view here from the Super Cub. It's so pretty. Much more scenic. Again, imagine doing this with VR. Man. Watch that speed. Ah, we're not gonna make Delta, I guess. It's gonna be Foxtrots. Power in. Slow and easy. That was not slow and easy. Oh, perhaps if I... Well, that's dangerous, I guess. If I tap the brakes too aggressively, then I'll tumble over. So everything about the Super Cub is gentle, even though it's powerhouse. Such a powerful engine. At least this version that I'm flying with. Slowly tapping on the brakes. Foxtrot, as you can see. A bit more there. Alright. Landing lights off, taxi lights on, lean for ground. Wait for
Papa Hotel
Marcus.
Tango India Mike, taxi back into the ramp via Echo and monitor ground point Niner.
Via Echo to the ramp and we'll monitor ground. Thanks for the help. Papa Hotel Tango Mike. There we go. At Palm Springs. Hoo, 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 hoo. That was a nice flight. Again, guys, just a short range flight without an autopilot. Just an old school rusty classic. Is so much more fun, I think. It's really wonderful. I'm really in spirit of the
San Luis
Uncertified.
Tower, November 6065, Lima Cessna Skyhawk.
Ah, thanks,
10
Miniko,
miles to the southeast
for that link.
with information.
I will check it out after the stream.
4,500 with
605 Lima San Luis Tower ident.
I'm gonna go one ramp.
Ident 605.
Or 65 Lima, thank you, ident. Observe, make straight in, runway 29er. And clear to land, wind 3206.
Straight in runway 29er, clear to land. 605 Lima.
65 Lima, you're using real world or custom weather?
It's custom right now, but I have the wind set to the same thing. 65.
Alright, very good. Just make sure I didn't have to turn you around.
Yeah, that's a good one, Digital. Palm Springs Tower, Carbon Cup, Papa touching on your mic, vertical takeoff. You just refer to the helicopter departures, I guess.
Remember, 3 Mike Charlie, taxi G
Alright,
on taxiway
into the non-movement
Charlie,
area,
monitor
which
ground
means
123.9er.
that
Good
we can
morning.
do whatever we like.
Early 23.9er morning to my trail.
We park next to Digital. Yeah, we have to. Have to.
Number 10 Echo right turn when able, and taxi the ramp via Alpha, monitor ground, point 9er.
Right turn when able, Alpha to the ramp, over the ground 10 Echo.
Fine by me. Avionics, off. Cut off. Boom. Switches off. Parking brakes set. Fuel tanks set to off, I guess. And again, you can see I don't know how I should actually move that thing. Like so, I guess. Okay. Lights off, off, off. Batteries off. Door open. And that completes our flight. That was wonderful. Really enjoyed it. Digital still next to us. Next to a big jet. I guess a little bit too close. Wow. Open the door. That's really pretty. Oh man. That was really nice. Yeah, Digital, and again, thanks for joining. Really, it's really, really nice, as always. Oh man. Okay, I'd like to review that landing, that last landing. All of that other stuff that we did with the DME arcs, with crosswind components and things, went just fine. So let's have a look at this particular landing. Plugins, PilotEdge, disconnect.
Disconnected.
And let's have a look. Flight recorder. Somewhere around here. Yes. Full flaps here. Let's see. All right. That's not the tendency that I'd like to see. And I think it's because I pulled the throttle just before touchdown. And so I sank down onto the runway too early. Go down, nose going up. But now I pulled the throttle at the same time, and so it has no effect, my elevator. Boom, and now I slow down because of the wheels. And then you can see that tipping tendency, and that's dangerous and happens. So I pull on the yoke immediately to get that tail down and also get some traction going so I can steer much more reliably. Yeah, so Delta here was a bit too early. Yeah, so that still requires some practice, I guess, to nail those landings with the Super Cup. But it's so much more. It's really enjoyable to fly the Cup. Also because of the view, much more immersed in that scenery, which I really like. Glare on those wings is really pretty. Yeah, that was a bit too close for comfort, I guess, for this plane, but hey. Okay, so guys, that completes today's flight. Unplanned, but it was fun. Practice some DME arcs with crosswinds went actually quite well. Also did some traffic pattern flying with crosswinds, also went pretty well. Yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with today's flight, and also just to get into the air again. Man, it's so relaxing. And also with the music on, which I think I'm gonna do from now on. Already did a few streams ago, but it just makes me relax a bit more. And again, that's also something that interests me also in terms of the psychology of streaming, but also of flying, is that I have a full-time job. And so after a busy working day, I'm actually quite tired, but I still feel like flying to relax. And because my Uncertified Pilot channel and just me, I'm really enjoying learning how to fly and challenging myself on top of a busy working day is actually quite draining. And music helps me to get into a mindset in which I can still learn something but still relax. So that's why I think it's not only nice to have some music on, but also it's as a function. So that's why. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so that completes today's flight. So that adds another completed task to my flight today. Completed DME arcs with crosswind flying, and that means that for the next flight, I'm going to again fly an obstacle departure procedure, one different than before. I think I'm going to fly the obstacle departure procedure of Borrego, which is based on RNAV, so GPS. We need to incorporate the GPS as well, which is nice. And another one with a crosswind, significant crosswind component, again to compensate and stay on the right track of things. Literally, and we're going to do that in one big stream. And perhaps I'm not going to do that tomorrow, I think, or well, maybe, I don't know. I've got some other things to do tomorrow, but otherwise, in any other case, I will do that Sunday, at least this weekend. So just follow me along and see how I progress through my instrument rating training. Again, if you like to catch up on all my previous streams, have a look at my YouTube channel. Also at the UncertifiedPilot.com website, you can find my curriculum and my training, and you can view all of the lessons also as part of my season 1 of my series of VFR flying, getting my PPL, my virtual PPL certificate here in the flight sim. So that's the place to go to catch up. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining. Digital, thank you once more for joining here on the stream. It's also so cozy, and well, as I always say, it makes the stream a little bit more interactive, and also for me as a pilot. So appreciate you being here. Hope your flying went well. I think you're going to stream also soon, so looking forward to that stream. And guys, thank you for being here as always, cheering me along. Also, Eidke, thank you for your 5-month subscription. Really pleased with that. Also very, very encouraging. And we also got some new uncertified pilots here aboard. It's Mark, Dot, and Doctor, and Edward who followed. Thank you so much, guys. As always, happy flights and blue skies. Hoping to see you very, very soon. Bye.
Palm Springs Tower, Skyline Papa Hotel Tango India Mike is 10 miles north of the airport at 3000 with information X-ray inbound for a full stop, and landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs altimeters 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, so you're requesting straight in for 13.
That's available, yes please.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, Pilatus 4658 is type PC12 slam code, request clearance to Vegas S filed.
Pilatus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, I'll be forward still. Pilatus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7000. Expect flight level 2, 405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Pilatus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Presso 3, initially climb 7000, expected for 025, departure 167, squawk 6316, plus version 5.
Pilatus 4658, readback is correct. Tango Mike, taxi to the ramp via acclimate frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp, Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left traffic, left downwind runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and we'll call you base 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242 John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170 and 13.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Papa Tower King 20 Kilo IFR 4.
Here 520 Yankee Kilo Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11. Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
6 left, face to land 7 Charlie Alpha, thank you.
Palm Springs ground, Pilatus 4658, east trend,